Hello lads, how are you doing? On the previous episode we established the Kingdom of Sicily, we dealt with all of our rebellious vassals, some of them being behind the assassination of my current character's mother, and we also dealt a devastating blow against Venice, which was encroaching upon our southern Italian territories, and we also got some of their territory in Dalmatia. But most importantly, we received a message that the crusade is about to begin, and that's something that we are more or less ready for, as we have been building up our strength to the point where we can raise over 12,000 troops just on my own. In any case, let's get right into it. And I will begin by subjugating the Greeks of Neapolis. And that's pretty surprising, but it looks like the Caliph of Egypt declared war on me for this territory right here. It's a little bit worrisome because he can raise over 24,000 troops, and that's without hiring any mercenaries. But since it's a holy war, I am pretty sure that I will be supported by my fellow Catholics, so it should be fine, probably. And yes, it looks like Christian lords have already started offering me their support. That's great. And not gonna lie, they have mobilized pretty fast. At least it appears that they are a little bit occupied with some rebellions in the Sina region, and they are getting attrition. So this should give me a little bit more time to prepare. And I am not sure how this happened, but I found a stray Egyptian army of only 5,000 men. So I obviously took the chance and attacked them. But interestingly, it looks like the main force of the Egyptian army is going for my Italian holdings. Honestly, I didn't really expect this. I expected them to march to my holdings here through Syria. Anyways, I still believe that I should be able to deal with them. Yeah, they landed with 17,000 troops. With the Caliph, however, himself being in Syria, it should be worth a shot to completely annihilate this army in hopes that I might capture him and earn myself a quick victory. Never mind, the AI is acting even weirder than I expected. Apparently, they went all the way here and landed in Italy just to get this little army of mine that I had left to deal with the Greeks, and now they are going through the strait to march all the way through Anatolia. That's pretty random. I ended up completely stag wiping the Caliph's force, but I never captured him. Also, the Egyptians are already somewhere in Anatolia where I can't see them, and seeing how they procrastinated way too much and how they still haven't managed to get any province of mine occupied, I think I'm going to take my army and land in Egypt in order to fastly occupy some of their lightly garrisoned cities. That's pretty amusing. This Seljuk vassal noticed that I am occupied with fighting the Egyptians, and he thinks that his little shithole here will get him my Anatolian holdings. Anyways. So, unless I am wrong, I am pretty sure that this Turkish vassal attacking me has gotten him into a hostile state with the Egyptians, since they have conflicting interests, and now the Egyptian Caliph's troops are besieging his provinces. I am not completely sure if I got it right and if that's really the case, but if it is, then this is just hilarious. And 3000 troops from Ancona finally caught up to me and joined my army, which is pretty nice. Whoa, and they just sent me another 3000 troops by ship. So in total, Ancona has sent me 6000 men worth of reinforcements. That's pretty nice of them. Honestly, I don't know what this army is even doing here. This army from Ancona just passed right through them and they just ignored it. Even if they are sieging this area, which I am not really sure at this point, since it's taking them so much time, is it even worth it? They are down to 10,000 men. In any case, with Cilicia back in my hands, I won't even have to engage them, since taking war score will do the entire job for me. What I'm worried about is that this Turkish army is in a mountainous province, and judging from my experience my experiences with this game, for all I know, if I engage them, I might end up losing the battle. So yeah, that's pretty annoying. In any case, I finally engaged them, and this is the result. At this point, I am pretty sure that the Egyptian AI has just crashed, because they are just here taking attrition damage, not achieving anything, and on the meanwhile, Ingladfa has finally managed to reach all the way to Egypt. So yeah, I guess this is good for me, but it's not good for the game. And in order for me to be impressed with the sequel, Crusader Kings 3, I expect to see some pretty good AI changes in order for it to be worth it. So the Seljuk vassal got captured in battle, so that's one less guy to worry about. Also, it looks like he's going to give me almost 800 gold from the peace deal. That's great. As for the Egyptians, it looks like in the end I never had to engage them at all. And I think that this is exactly what I will continue doing, because why even waste troops and money engaging their main force if they are just going to waste it away? Anyways, the war with Neapolis is still continuing, so let me just finish that. Oh, and the Navarrese company finally got control of the Venetian holdings right here. I wonder if I can vassalize them. That would be interesting. This unit has been out of supplies for 500 days. Honestly, what even causes this to happen? I am not sure. So, I just made the Greek surrender, and regarding the Navarrese company, it looks like I can use one of the new casus bellis to force them into vassalization in exchange for 1000 prestige, but I am not sure how exactly it would work then. Would the Navarrese company, as in the mercenaries, become my own vassals? Kind of like how the Roman Empire has the Varangian Guard? Will they be exclusively mine for employment, and will I get like a discount when hiring them? I am not sure. In any case, I finally won the war, mostly thanks to the Egyptian AI being completely trash, and I am going to get 1400 gold for it, which is really great. Now I have over 4000 gold to spare for future wars or a future emergency. And with this much money, now that I am going to coronate, I can afford the most expensive options, which is nice. So with the Byzantines being stuck in a pretty rough war against the Turks, I think it's time for me to be a piece of shit and take advantage of the situation to grab a state out of them. I found this guy who has a claim in Peloponnesos, so I will make him my vassal and press his claims. It was a little bit of a pain in the ass to assemble the troops since my realm is so spread out, but I'm finally here, and with a few sieges I should be able to win this war. I believe that the Roman Empire will not attempt to engage with me, judging from how distracted they are from the Turkish invasion. My sister tragically died of poor physique, so I will update my alliance with England by offering the hand of my other sister. And indeed, I ended up winning this conflict without having to fight a single battle. That's nice. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Gradually, my ultimate goal will be to unite my holdings of the West with the ones of the East, and eventually replacing the Roman Empire, and of course also converting its provinces to Catholicism. And it's pretty nice because at this point of the game I no longer need the Crusades to save me. Initially I did, but now I have so many troops and I have so much gold that it is no longer a requirement. Anyways, just like I immediately took advantage of the Roman instability to take Peloponnesos away from them, I will do the same to the Turks. They have a very young leader, their forces are depleted from several wars, and they are right now occupied with a war against the Greeks that they are winning, but they're still not quite there. So this is the perfect opportunity for me to intercept them. We are doing pretty fine so far, and as soon as I siege down these last two holdings, I will immediately go for Pontus to prevent the Seljuks from winning the war against the Byzantines, I mean the Romans. So at this point, I could have just sieged down a bit more, a few more Turkish territories, and I would have won the war. But my goal isn't just to win the war, but to also save the Roman Empire, because I want both sides to remain weak and constantly fighting each other. I don't want the Greeks to get too weak, because the Turks will then be able to focus on me. And by liberating the Greeks of Pontus from the Turks, I should be able to bring down the war score just enough to give the Greeks a better fighting chance. The score is capped at 99 because less than 36 months passed and I have not yet won a major battle. What the fuck is this rule? Honestly, I don't understand. And I have won battles. What does it mean major battle? How does the game define a major battle? So I finally won this annoying war. It took me a while for the war score to stop being capped. Honestly, I didn't even realize how it happened or how it ended up going away, but anyways. And the good thing about this war is that now my Anatolian holdings are unified, and this province right here is no longer landlocked, or rather an exclave would be more correct. My son finally came of age and his stats are pretty great. He also started off with the ambitious trait and with the brilliant strategist education trait. So now I will just have to get him married, and hopefully he's going to have some boys to secure the future of my dynasty. And I think that this German woman right here will be just what he needs, especially thanks to her genius trait, which might potentially pass over to his children. And finally, the crusade began. So the crusade for Egypt will begin in 120 days, and it's a little bit annoying because my levies are a little bit depleted. However, I do have a lot of gold, and that should definitely make up for it. Also, I will hire this holy order, and I am pretty sure that once the crusade begins, that the monthly cost will be reduced to 0. And indeed, the monthly cost went to 0. Anyways, let's begin the crusade. I will begin by sending my spy master here in Central Egypt in order for me to have a picture of where their troops are going. And at the beginning I am actually going to bide my time a little bit because just on my own I don't have enough troops to take all the Muslims alone. So I will wait for reinforcements. So here I am, and by far I have the greatest contribution score, which means that I am the one most likely to get the kingdom, and I will try to maintain my pressure right here in order to keep my contribution as high as possible. Also, I am recycling my generals on the battlefield in order to give everyone the Crusader trait. So here we go, that's the largest battle by far, and it looks like it's going to be an easy win. Yeah, that's great. And yeah, by this point it's pretty much over for the Egyptians. I got their main army on the run, and there is nothing they can do about this. And this is it. Thanks to our high war participation, Egypt is pretty much ours. And we also got a fuck ton of gold. For the first time ever, I have reached 10,000 gold in my treasury in this game. It suffices to say that the game will going to be considerably easier now, and unlike the first episode, I don't expect to lose in any way unless I get extremely unlikely and once again I am left without any male dynasty members. In any case, that's going to be it for this episode. On the next episode, I will probably begin by taking care of the Raiders issue. I didn't address it so far because I wasn't sure what was going on, but for whatever reason, an incredibly high amount of Raider NPCs have been spawning in this area and here on Peloponnesos. I would say I get up to 5 of them each year, and no matter how many times I beat them, they always spawn back. I am not sure if it is a bug, but I will have to beat them up. And the main focus of the next episode is going to be, first and foremost, establishing a land connection between my Anatolian holdings and my Egyptian holdings by launching a series of holy wars against the Turks and the Fatimids, and of course to subjugate the Greeks and replace them as the dominant power in the East, all while constantly converting my holdings to Catholicism. Anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you will be looking forward for my next episode. Goodbye.